Hey y'all, wanted to share another video with you. This dream I had probably about a couple of months back. Today is March 2018. And in this dream, I was deep in sleep, and all of a sudden I was wakened in this dream to a commotion. There was a lot going on, and I found myself in a box truck, like a van. And I think at first I was a passenger, but we were in traffic like I'd never seen, and it was worse than Austin, Texas, or Italy. There were several lanes of traffic, I want to say 6 or 8, and we were all headed west. And there was some additional lanes going the other way. I don't know how many lanes there were, but traffic was back to back, bumper to bumper, and it was dark. And I had no idea where we were going, but I could see that, there were gaps in traffic, and if we could just, squeeze through, like I normally do, I could make my way through the traffic and I could navigate. So the next thing I know, I'm driving and I'm navigating through the traffic, and there are all these cars and trucks and vehicles, and they're all headed west. And I was like, what is going on? And so as I get further and further, I realize that I'm not in America, I'm somewhere else. And everyone around me who's driving, it happens to be Asian. And I can hear people behind me in the van, but I can't quite make out what they're saying. I think there's some English spoken, but I'm not sure. And it's just very difficult. But I know I just want to keep going and going forward. And there's signs, and there are cityscapes and lights and buildings, and I don't recognize anything. There's no landmark that I can see that I'm familiar with. As we keep going and keep going, finally traffic stops, and I know I have to keep going. So I get out of the van and I start walking, and I'm walking at a very fast pace heading west. And the traffic has just stopped. And as I'm walking, there are other people walking too. We're all pedestrians now. And we get off the main highway, and now we're like on small city streets, and we're wandering around through these big, tall skyscrapers and buildings and things. And everyone I hear now is speaking English. And there's a couple of girls behind me. I can't see them, but I hear their conversation, and one girl says to her friend, she's like, "Yeah, I can't believe my boss. He expects me to show up at work every day wearing a bikini." And she's like, "I can't do business like that." And I thought that was very odd. And as I keep going, I realize now that I'm in a setting that's more like Chinatown. And I see all these Chinese characters and everything like that. And then I go through some areas and I can see shops. And in the shops are non-Asians but Americans manning the shops. And they're behind the counter. And they're working at the register and things like that. And so when I woke up from that dream, I really felt strongly as though it was an after invasion event. That once a foreign power decides to take over the United States, and if they're successful, they are going to take Americans as spoil, and they're going to take them back home as trophies. And they are going to take everything that we worked for in this country, all our goods, all our services, all our ideas, and our people, and they're going to take them with them back to where they came from. And I really feel strongly about this dream. I don't believe that it was a fantasy. I believe that it was a warning. I believe that America is on dangerous ground. We're on dangerous ground because of our relationship to God and how we've turned our back on Him. And He will allow our enemies to defeat us. And we need to be in prayer. We need to be repentive, and we need to ask the Lord for wisdom. Well, that was my dream, and I want to thank you for listening. You all have a good day, and God bless.